This is a 1973 Volkswagen Beetle 1300s. This Beetle is owned by a friend of my dad's. We call him Mr. Kid or Mang Kid. And he showed me this car, which was disassembled. He wanted to restore it, but then the guy who was going to paint it just disappeared. So I helped him fix it. We took it to JSK Custom Paint and Auto Works. We restored it, painted it, and made it run beautifully again. Fans of the Beetles and Beetle aficionados will know that the 1300s is a special Beetle, but I'll tell you about that later. Now let's go back first to the history of Volkswagen. In 1938, German Chancellor Adolf Hitler wanted to build a car for the masses, or Volks, meaning people, wagon, car, people's car. So they came up with a factory in Wolfsburg and built the Volkswagen Type 1, which they lovingly called the Käfer, or German for Beetle.
Hello.
So that's how it became known as the Volkswagen Beetle. Now, the Beetle featured a 4-cylinder air-cooled engine because Chancellor Hitler wanted the car to travel fast on their new Autobahn network of roads. It was economical, quick, and it could seat 4 adults comfortably plus some luggage. He turned to Ferdinand Porsche to design the car, and they came out with a rear-engine, air-cooled flat 4 with a single floor pan. They made it easy for the Germans to work on and when there's a trouble with the car, easy to troubleshoot, easy to drive, and quite quick on the expressway or the Autobahn. It was also very economical. In 1938, when the first Type 1 were introduced, it was powered with a 1,100 cubic centimeter flat 4 engine that only produced around 40 horsepower. Over the years, they improved it, it got bigger displacement, and the power went up to more than 60 horsepower. This 1300s has a 1600cc engine. The popularity of the Beetle was such, it was built in 1938 in Wolfsburg, Germany, and until 2003 in Mexico, where the last production Beetle was made. In total, they made 21,529,454 Beetles all over the world. This is one of 21 million.
Now go!
You know, some Beetles were driven very hard and driven to the ground, and some, like this car, was lovingly cared for and partially restored. In 1973, cars like this were worth about 3,000 pesos, brand new. And then prices went up when the gas crunch came in 1973, and the Volkswagen Beetle became even more popular. These days, cars of this vintage and in this condition would fetch up to about 300,000 pesos. So if you have a Beetle in your garage, you better take care of it because it's going to be worth a lot of money someday. Now, some people, especially people my age, ouch, they learn to drive in a Beetle. Now, driving a Beetle is kind of difficult from driving today's cars. For one, the clutch and the foot pedals are hinged from the bottom, not from the top. And then with the flat 4 engine with the single carburetor, you really need to know how to master the clutch and the gas and when to shift properly. But once you've driven a Beetle, you can drive anything. Beetles in general, they have a lovable shape. You know, that bug shape. And every time we drive this car around, even my green Super Beetle, people would stop and say, that's a Volkswagen. Now the new cars, well, they're nice, but this one is instantly recognizable as a Volkswagen Beetle. Now it's air-cooled, meaning there's no water, there's no radiator. This is cooled by air and oil. There's a single carburetor, and then the power is about 60 horsepower. It's connected to a 4-speed transaxle that drives directly the rear wheels. Front suspension is by torsion bar, and steering is a direct steering, so there's no power steering. But the steering wheel is big enough and it's not really heavy, only when you're parking. You will know a Volkswagen Beetle is passing through when you hear the distinct sound it makes. Because of the mechanical valve lifters, it has a clunk, 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 clunk staccato that you can hear, as well as the pea-shooter exhaust, the twin exhaust at the back. It's called the pea-shooter. It has a different tone from any other car you'd see on the street. And this particular Beetle has the much desired MPI steel rims. MPI stands for European Motor Performance Incorporated, which is a popular aftermarket supplier for the Volkswagens. The car behind me, we restored it, painted it, and made it run beautifully again. Mang Kid was so overjoyed upon seeing his baby back in one piece. Remember, this guy's 80 years old and he's a bug enthusiast, a big bug enthusiast. In gratitude, he gave me his other Beetle. It's a 1974 Super Beetle, which we will restore on this show soon. Fast forward to today, Volkswagen is still at it, offering a somewhat similar people's car that addresses more than the basic needs of today's customers. And here's Kevin to tell you more about it.
Say hello to the Volkswagen Santana 180 MPI AT SE. The company has introduced two models for the AT or automatic variant of Santana in the country. While there's the wagon-type Santana GTS, what we have here is the four-door, subcompact Santana SE. Let's go get a closer look at what it offers as an affordable city car. You can't deny that the Santana is a product of the German automobile company with how Volkswagen implemented its design cues. Straight lines running along the sides of the body make the exterior look really neat and simple. Up here, a pair of halogen headlamps flank the chrome grille with a prominent emblem right in the middle. And look just below it and we have fog lamps that sort of mirror the design pattern right above it. Lock eyes with the Santana and one would appreciate how the front fascia is very orderly, very balanced. It does look a bit standard, but one that's easy to appreciate. The same straightforward design continues inside, but again, it's not the kind that leaves you wanting more, but rather the kind that satisfies you to appreciate the thought process of how elements were implemented. Seats are made of leather and fabric, which gives supple support and a comfortable feel throughout the ride. Steering wheel has been wrapped in leather and is adorned with buttons for navigation through settings and other features. Plus, it looks good with its semi-sporty vibe going on. This specific model is loaded with a 7-inch Blaupunkt head unit with touch capabilities and Bluetooth connectivity. It's a special sound system also from a German company that delivers quality audio through its 6 built-in speakers. Plus, you and your passengers will get to enjoy extra light flooding in through its sunroof. In terms of space, the Santana's cabin is decent sized. And if you have extra large baggage to bring, that's no problem for Santana's trunk space. While the company positioned this sedan as a more affordable alternative to its usual top-of-the-line vehicles, Volkswagen threw in features that are usually seen on higher-end models. The Santana comes with auto headlights that react according to the environment, rain-sensing wipers, and a start-stop function that briefly shuts down the engine to help conserve gas while waiting for the traffic light, for example. Cruise control also comes in handy during long drives, and its air-conditioned system automatically filters out pollen to avoid triggering allergies. The Santana not only comes with features that will make your riding experience more comfortable, it's also equipped with safety measures while on the road. In case of a collision, it has driver and passenger airbags as well as front-side airbags. There's electronic stabilization program and anti-slip regulation, anti-lock braking system, and rear park distance control that's essentially a proximity sensor when you need to back up. It also passed Euro 5 emission standards, so it's not just safe for people around, it's safer for the environment. And when we're talking about performance, the Santana SE strikes a good balance between power and fuel economy. This is thanks to its 1.5-liter engine that runs the show and produces decent power when you step on the gas pedal. Speed is then routed to the front wheels via a 6-speed automatic transmission, and its electronic power steering makes things light and easily maneuverable even while parking. Shifts and transmissions are gentle and not abrupt, while braking isn't too sensitive, so that's a good thing in our book. This subcompact sedan is a great vehicle to bring around the city, and you can even further stretch its legs on scenic drives nearby. With its offerings and features, power, maneuverability, and its sharp enough look, the Santana SE ticks the right boxes while maintaining compromises to a minimum. It might very well be considered as Volkswagen's people's car for today's generation.